You know, I didn't know until very recently that Dr. Phil is kind of a badass, man. I mean, honestly, I had no clue. I didn't know much about the guy. I thought he was just one of Oprah's people. So, I mean, if I'm being honest, that wasn't exactly a glowing recommendation. I just assumed that he was some dry, boring guy basically playing a psychologist on TV. But, dude, Dr. Phil is freaking amazing, man. And I think, honestly, I'm looking more into him, but I think he had some sort of awakening because he was literally like the rest of us just watching the world go completely to shit. And I think he realized, and God bless him if this is it, that he has got a real platform and it's time to get in the fight and win some hearts and win some minds. And if that's his goal, he's nailing it, man, because I think he's doing it. He just had some real wacko Hamas apologists on his program. So basically, just a couple of random examples of the Democrat Party base. And he absolutely cooked them, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a good guy. He heard them out. He respected their opinions. So basically, he allowed them to cook themselves.
Do you think Israel was going to do when Hamas cuts a hole in the fence and comes over the top and kills 1,300 people? What did you think they should have done?
I think they have every right to go in combat with Hamas, but I don't think they have the right for 92% of the death count to be civilians.
If they burn an infant in a crib, do you see that as a moral equivalent to a collateral death from a bomb being dropped as an act of war?
They have explicitly targeted civilian areas that have been marked as civilian areas. Israel has the registry for every person in Gaza.
And if that's where the enemy is hiding, do they have a right to attack them?
No, they do not have the right to kill.
There are some things that are just fundamental human decency. And when I ask you if what happened on October 7th is something you condemn, and you say, well, you have to look at that by looking at hundreds of years of conflict. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's either right or it's wrong, and it was wrong, and I don't need 100 years of conflict to know it was wrong.
The fact of the matter is that Hamas, yes, did take innocent life. Why did Hamas take away innocent life? Why was Hamas platformed? Why was Hamas funded? Why is Hamas empowered to take away innocent life?
Let me tell you something. When somebody comes over a fence and goes into someone's house and burns their infant in its crib, I don't give a damn why they did it. It's wrong.
You know, if you're a Democrat, you probably think that what Dr. Phil said is somehow controversial, probably like real right-wing nutcrackery or whatever. And that's insane. I mean, that, I just can't understand it. I understand that these people, they're literally programmed and intellectually abused, basically, from the first moments that they can talk, pretty much. But, I mean, man, it is amazing to see. It's terrifying. It's horrifying, man, to see the actual power that programming can have. But, I mean, just consider this. I think that Dr. Phil let her off a little easy. He says to her, basically, you know, you can't just say what's wrong is wrong without taking some sort of disingenuous trip through 100 years of bad history. And that's a good point, but that's not what she's doing at all. I mean, she's saying that because of the history that she believes, that what we saw on October 7th isn't bad. These people think that the terrorist acts are somehow justified, right? And another thing I wish the show kind of would have done is push back on this insane 92% number of BS. That is not even close to accurate. I mean, Hamas doesn't even believe that. And that's where Mosab Yousef comes in. I mean, you guys have probably seen this guy before. He's the reformed son of one of Hamas's founders. So obviously got one of the more unique perspectives that we're likely to get on this topic or any other. And I just want to say, whatever this guy does say, he's brave to say it.
I've read it that the charter of Hamas is to eliminate the Jewish race, beginning with Israel, but not stopping with Israel, wiping them off the face of the earth. Is that true?
This is true, but it does not end there. Now we have the problem of the pro-Palestine who are actually giving Hamas cover. They are participants in the crime. In fact, since October 7, I personally don't differentiate between Hamas and what's so-called Palestinians. Because actually there is no Palestinians. There are tribes. There is the tribe of Hamas, and there is the tribe of the Islamic Jihad, and there is the tribe of Khalil, and there is the tribe of Nablus, and each one has different interests, and all of them are conflicted. If they did not have Israel as the common enemy, they would kill each other. This is the reality of what's so-called Palestine.
Rhetoric?
You don't know what Palestine is. Actually, in fact, the keffiyeh that you are wearing, this is just a statement to show that you really lack the authenticity to represent the case. And what's so-called the cause, you know, this is a human problem.
So you just...
The cause must die. I think enough is enough. And now it's proven, and you are helping Hamas to prove it to the world, that Palestine depends on the destruction of the state of Israel. And this is not acceptable, and we are not going to agree to it. And I tell you something, for the next 10 or 20 years, the Palestinian people will pay the bill that Hamas is caused today, and most likely in blood.
Dude, what do you even say to that, man? I mean, what do you even add to that? It doesn't get any more real. It does not get any more clear than that. This is a violent terrorist organization. And every single one of these wacky young Democrats who I think they really do believe that they're some sort of idealists or tolerant or human rights champions, is without a doubt completely and totally complicit in all this. And really, as bad as that is, and it's bad, it's unforgivably bad, but as bad as that really is, it's made worse by the fact that they're spreading this hate without even really knowing what the hell they're even talking about. Not one of them has watched any of the videos of the actual atrocities, the videos and the recordings of their heroes calling home with the number of lives they took, number of heads they removed, and being literally treated as heroes by their own parents. I mean, it is freaking insane. I don't think these young kids understand what that part of the world really is and what's really happening, man. There is no amount of history that would make even fantasizing about any of that stuff okay. But anyway, that's just my take. I thought you'd get a kick out of that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. And if you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.